Hi, Christopher James here with Branson Open Mic with someone new to town, Mr. James Sibley.
New and glad to be here.
New and glad to be here, and a lot of people are asking me about you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, he is the new comedian at
Pierce Arrow. Look
Pierce
at
Arrow.
that. He
Look at
brought the
that.
cup
They
with me.
fancy cross promotion. We'll have to blur. We'll blur that out. That'll be blurred. Are you new to Branson? Have you ever
Brand
been?
spanking new to Branson. I moved here
Brand
in
spanking new in
February.
Branson?
I've been a comic on the road for about close to 20 years, combined with all the other stuff. Moved. I actually came here back when Paul Harris was still at Pierce Arrow.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
filled in for him for a couple of times. I say a couple of times, probably 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And then Jarrett, I can't remember Jarrett's last name.
Doherty.
Yeah, me and Jarrett were offered the job. I didn't really want the job. I wanted to hit the road. I still had dreams of going to LA and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
so I passed on that job.
So those dreams are shattered.
Those dreams were shattered. I did it. I went to LA. Had a good time. I learned a little bit of Spanish while I was out there.
Oh, yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you have to. And went back, and I'd been doing Carnival for a long time, Carnival cruises, and still doing some of the clubs. And the owner of the club, just out of the blue, called me and said, "Do you want to come?" And I just got married, and it kind of worked out to where while my wife was living in Memphis, I was in South Carolina. And I said, "This is a way we can be together." Being on the road is a hard thing.
Yeah, I
You
did it
know
for a
that.
long time.
Yeah,
And especially working on a ship.
on a ship is really hard.
It's a unique life.
Yeah.
People, I've done one Carnival cruise. It's a running joke that I have, that I've done over 890 cruises, and one of them was on Carnival. It was not a good experience for me. But
Most people, just to get an idea, your bathroom at home, chances are, is bigger than the cabin that we stay in.
right.
Television is limited to about, I don't know, 15 channels, and 8 of those are sports, and
Yeah.
5 of those are news. So if you don't like sports and news, you're not going to really get it. I mean, it's a little bit of punishment. It's kind of like being in prison.
Okay, this is what I say. And people
Yeah.
look at me like I'm crazy. I say it's a gilded cage because
Right.
it's a great place to be. It's better than drywalling and roofing and that
Right,
sort of job.
right.
But after a while, you start to go a little mental
Yes.
because the TV channels are what get me, because the same shows repeat, the same episodes
Right.
of Dirty Jobs or
That's
whatever.
it.
Same. I've
Yes,
seen a
absolutely.
Big Bang Theory episode. I saw it for 3 years.
Right. And that show about the people in Alaska,
Oh,
man.
yes.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
But after a while, you just run out of things to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you become a comedian kind of because you have that nonconformist attitude. Not so much that I always joke and say I'm getting paid now to do what got me fired from my other job.
That's what I say. That
There's
used to
not
give
really
me detention.
right. There's not really a place for humor in the Fortune 500 workplace, but on there you are kind of you are back at a Fortune 500. They have rules and there's regulations, and going through immigration. I don't know if you have to do that every time that ship comes back into port. You have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And stand in line with 80 guys from India and Philippines, and it's just you're like, why am I doing this? What is going on here?
I
Why
know,
am I
the
doing
bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And the scheduling. That's what always got me. I'm used to doing my own thing. When I was on the road doing clubs, I could say, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But on a ship, they got strict schedules, strict times.
Right.
Especially the ones I work on. When they say they want you to do 40 minutes,
Right.
it's 40 minutes because they want the people back in the casino.
Right. And wearing a name tag. You have to wear a name tag. Nothing
have
says
to do that.
rock and roll like a name tag.
Yeah, right.
Nothing says nonconformist.
So
like
on
having
Carnival, though, you're a crew member. Is that how they...
Yeah, you're a contractor. I used to do it when we were literally fly on. So
that's what I do.
The ship would be in Cozumel. So you'd fly into Cozumel. You'd go through the immigration process there. You get on the ship. The ship would go down south to Honduras 2 days later, and you'd get off and go back home. Now you do the entire cruise. So it's, I'm working 2.5 hours the
Right.
entire time I'm on there, and I might be on there for 5 days.
Which sounds great
Yeah.
to most people, but like we were saying, after a while...
Right. And as comics, we're used to, after a show, thank you, I had a great time, it's good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Come back sometime, goodbye, I'll never see you again. And it's not that I don't want to see him again, it's just, thanks and that. But on the ship, no, you go to the bathroom, there's that guy who was at your show last night.
Yeah.
And now he's thought up something funny that he wants to tell you.
Oh, try this. I do magic.
Oh,
and
wow.
comedy. So I always say there's two ways the cruise can go. One is I'm at the beginning of the cruise or welcome aboard.
Right.
Everybody knows you, and that's one thing.
Yeah, that's one
The
thing.
other thing is you stay on the ship the whole time, and you're the creepy guy by himself at everything.
Right.
And then they know who you are at the end of the cruise.
All right.
So either way, but as a comedian and as a magician, let me show you a trick. My uncle does a trick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But
Or I bet I
same
know,
thing.
or how did that work? Or I bet I know how this works.
Yeah,
or whatever.
but the jokes, and I talk about this with everybody I have on here that does comedy. Do you find that most of the jokes people give you are jokes you could never possibly do?
Right, or there's some other, and I mean, I'm a Southern guy. I do not say, in my act, I'm a Southern guy, but I never say the word redneck. I never say Walmart. I never say trailer park, any of that. I'm just a Southern guy telling my jokes. But I get a lot of people who come up, and especially in a club, it's like, hey man, I got one for you. And then they'll do this little look, and I know what's coming. It's going to be it's going to be a racist joke. And as soon as they start that, I'll go, hey man, that's cool. I don't really want to hear that joke. Well, then you get this look on their face like, I don't know. It's almost like, well, man, I thought you was cool or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like we're smoking weed or something. And I say, man, if you like that joke, that's fine. But I don't want other people hearing you telling me that joke. If other people hear you tell me that joke, they're going to think that that's me and that's not me.
Yeah.
And then for some reason they get offended. It doesn't happen on the cruise ships a lot.
Yeah.
But at a comedy club, yeah, sure, because people are drunk.
Yeah, I had a complaint at one of my shows about that. Somebody came up and started telling me a joke, and I let him finish the joke, and I said, that's not something I could say on stage. And so he wrote a complaint. And so the producer came to me and said, what's the story with that? And I said, let me tell you the joke.
Yeah.
Okay? And I said, a Jew, an Arab, and he goes, stop.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, we get a lot of that.
Wow, and I mean, it's that I don't drink. I don't know if you do.
No.
Okay, I don't.
Water. I drink water.
I quit 20-something years ago.
I only drink out of Pierce Arrow cups.
There you go. Yeah. And man, something about a nice guy mixed with alcohol equals, what's the word that I can use on your show here? A not nice guy. There you go. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. You take a guy that's a bank teller at Bank of America, and he's been there for 15 years. He's got a house that's really nice, and his wife, and he goes to a club on Friday, and he gets 6 beers in him, and all of a sudden he's a racist idiot,
But don't you think, as the Romans used to say, truth and wine, like that is what they're really like.
Yeah, that's probably what they're really like. You're right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Everything else is an act.
Yeah. Well, I hope not. I hope that it's the other way around. I hope that the alcohol brings out something.
Yeah, well.